The government shut down now in its third day. Lawmakers still at a standstill as the Senate's expected to reconvene this afternoon, trying to find a solution. Julissa Garza joins us live from the newsroom with a closer look. Good morning, Julissa.
Hey, Jacob. Good morning. Well, lawmakers are grappling with deep partisan divisions and with no clear resolution in sight. So the uncertainty continues to grow this morning. To help us understand more is Mike Yon, a political science professor at Sam Houston State University. Professor Yon, thank you so much for joining us so early this morning. First question, what can we expect when the Senate meets later this afternoon?
Probably more of the same, Julissa. It's probably going to be a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blame, a lot of political rhetoric. I don't think we will see a deal this afternoon.
So you don't think that lawmakers are any close to reaching a deal that could pass the Senate? Could we see any budging from one side of the aisle to side with another? We know health care is a big thing for the Democrats, but the Republicans also have the things they're focused on.
Well, the Republicans are also very focused on the health care because I think that that's where they will feel the pain. And that is what's going to require greater applicability for movement. So once one of the parties starts to feel the political pain, you'll see a much greater likelihood of negotiations, of compromise, and maybe some movement. But I don't think we're there today.
Are there any lawmakers who might be persuaded to cross party lines and break the stalemate? I know we need 60 votes.
Very much so. And I think what you are seeing is a lot of people looking very closely at, okay, who has indicated a mood of potential compromise? You're looking at people from, say, New Hampshire, Maine. Angus King has already voted in favor of the Republicans. Jeanne Shaheen, who is not running for re-election and comes from a swing state. I think some of those people will be highly pressured. And both parties are looking, though, to exploit the weaknesses or the weak links in the other party. And I think that everybody's watching those very closely. And then the political leaders, Chuck Schumer and John Thune, are doing everything they can to keep their people in line.
And beyond the negotiations in D.C. between lawmakers, what are some of the immediate impacts everyday Americans are already starting to feel? I know we talked to you earlier this week about how this could impact travel and just a lot of different federal workers from different sectors of the government.
Well, it's going to have the huge impact on the federal workers. So the last time something like this happened, about 850,000 federal employees were furloughed. You could see a similar number this time. Now, for an everyday effect, I'm not sure that most people will feel it, certainly not immediately. If you're planning a trip to a national park, some of the visitor centers may be closed. Some of the more dangerous areas may be shut down. You'll still get your mail. You'll still have access to Medicare, Medicaid. You'll still have air traffic controllers. But there are some smaller things. If you're planning a trip to DC, a lot of the government buildings will be shut down. And just something that can be sort of heartbreaking, while some of the major healthcare institutes in DC will be continuing their operations, some of the research studies will be slowed down or stopped altogether. So if you have a family member that is in an experimental study where they're given hope for cancer or some other life-threatening disease, those trials could be slowed down or stopped altogether. And that's heartbreaking for those families. So I think what you'll see, those will be used, as they always are, for political gain, and they will be used to exploit political weaknesses. And ultimately, this will prove to be a political showdown.
And when it comes to the political showdown aspect of it, looking longer term, what are the potential political risk or advantages for Democrats and Republicans if this shutdown drags on?
Well, I think the key is healthcare, and we're going to start to see some of that November 1st. So I guess there's two things. The first, as you've mentioned, is healthcare. It's the extension of these Obamacare subsidies that began in 2021 under COVID. So I think what we'll see with that is Republicans not wanting to raise rates on what could be millions of people. And so I think that they are open to and will explore ways to continue those without negotiating away their leverage points. I think for the Democrats, part of this is going to be how much political pain can they bear. And this is something that President Trump has openly exploited. and that he is looking to cancel grants and particularly target some agencies that are in Democratic strongholds. So this creates a great deal of pain and uncertainty for those elected officials in those states, and they may want to put a quick end to this. The other aspect of this is the fact that economic uncertainty creates chaos. And so there are markets that don't know what to do. There are markets don't know whether they're going up or down. And this is exacerbated by the fact that, for example, today we can't get labor data because the Labor Department is partially furloughed. And so that adds to the uncertainty, and that can create some unpredictable effects that will impact everyday consumers.
A lot of uncertainty and a lot to watch. Professor Yan, thank you so much for joining us and always bringing such strong insight. Jacob and Alona, we'll go ahead and send it back to you too.
Thank you both. We appreciate the insight.